The great hall of the Galactic Council fell silent. 500 alien representatives from across the galaxy sat frozen in their seats. On the massive central screen, a simple number glowed: 15. High Counselor Jor, his blue skin almost turning pale, cleared his throat. "The data is clear," he said. "Earth must be reclassified from a Class 8 to a Class 15 Deathworld." Whispers filled the room. No planet had ever been rated above Class 12. Captain Tom Reed looked at Ambassador Lisa Morgan, both humans trying to make sense of what just happened. "There must be a mistake," Lisa said, standing up. Her voice echoed in the large hall. "Our planet has been an active member of the galactic community for 15 years. Jor raised his four-fingered hand. "The facts cannot be denied, Ambassador. Our latest surveys show that Earth is far more dangerous than we first thought." He touched a control panel, and new images filled the screen. Earth's storms, volcanoes, predators, and diseases played in a frightening slideshow. "Your gravity alone would crush most species. Your oxygen levels are toxic to 60% of council races. Your temperature swings would kill 80% of our members. Your microbes." Jor paused. "We have no words for how dangerous they are." Tom leaned toward Lisa. "This is bad," he whispered. "Very bad." Lisa nodded slowly. As Earth's ambassador, she understood what this meant. Trade deals would collapse. Cultural exchanges would end. Earth would be isolated. "High Counselor," she said, "we request time to prepare a response." Jor looked almost sad. "Of course, Ambassador, but the classification stands. Earth is now officially the most dangerous inhabited planet known to the Council." As they left the hall, other alien representatives moved away from the humans, creating a wide empty space around them. "They're afraid of us," Tom said, noticing the fear in the aliens' eyes. "Can you blame them?" Lisa replied, "We just became monsters." The news spread fast. Within hours, every corner of the galaxy was talking about the deadly humans from the Death Planet. On 17 worlds, emergency meetings were called to discuss the human threat. Trade ships headed to Earth suddenly changed course. Tourist trips were canceled. On the central planet of Nexus Prime, the news channel ran nonstop coverage. Breaking news: Earth reclassified as Class 15 Deathworld. Citizens advised to avoid all contact with humans. A popular alien talk show host waved his tentacles in alarm. "They live in poison air, drink acid water, and their bodies are filled with deadly microbes. And they walk among us." Back on Earth, most humans had no idea about their new status. In New York, people walked through Central Park. In Tokyo, workers rode crowded trains. In Lagos, street vendors sold food to passing customers. But in the United Nations Space Authority building in Geneva, emergency lights flashed. Director Paul Brown stared at the message from Captain Reed. "Class 15. He muttered. "This is going to change everything." His assistant looked worried. "Sir, we're already getting reports of canceled shipments. 3 diplomatic missions have been shut down. The Galactic Embassy on the Moon has been evacuated." Paul closed his eyes. Humans had worked so hard to join the galactic community. Now they were seen as too dangerous to be near. "Get me the Secretary General," he said, "and the President, and all world leaders. They need to know that as of today, Earth is alone again." He looked out the window at the peaceful Swiss landscape. "And tell them the truth. The galaxy is now afraid of us." Krell had never been so scared in his life. His thin green skin trembled as the ship entered Earth's atmosphere. "Final approach to New York landing zone," announced the computer. "Warning. Extreme conditions detected." Krell checked his protective suit for the 10th time. As the top xenobiologist from planet Veros, he had been chosen to study Earth up close. The Council needed to know exactly why Earth deserved its Class 15 rating. "I don't want to die here," he whispered to himself. The ship landed with a soft bump. Krell took a deep breath of filtered air and stepped toward the exit. The door opened, and bright sunlight hit his face shield. A human waited for him. Dr. Krell, welcome to Earth. I'm Dr. Jack Wilson from the International Science Institute. Krell was surprised. The human looked normal, not like a monster at all. Just a man in a simple white coat, smiling. Is it safe out here? Krell asked, his voice shaking. Jack looked confused. Of course it's safe. It's just a beautiful spring day. 72 degrees, light breeze, perfect weather. Krell checked his sensors. The gravity was crushing, nearly twice what his body was made for. The air was full of highly reactive oxygen. The temperature was hot enough to damage his natural skin. And according to his scanner, millions of microbes filled every cubic inch of air. Yet the human stood there, completely unprotected, breathing it all in. Over the next week, Krell followed Jack everywhere, recording everything. The human had no idea Krell was studying him as a dangerous species. Jack thought Krell was just a visiting scientist interested in Earth biology. They visited a city park where small humans played in dirt. Aren't they afraid? Krell asked from inside his suit. Of what? Jack laughed. The bacteria, the insects, the falling tree seeds, the ultraviolet radiation from your sun. Jack seemed confused. Those are just normal parts of life, Krell. Later, they drove through a thunderstorm. Lightning cracked across the sky. Rain pounded the car. Krell huddled in terror while Jack calmly drove. We should take shelter, Krell cried. These electrical discharges could kill us. It's just a storm, Jack said. Happens all the time. At night in his sealed hotel room, Krell sent reports to the council. Day 7. Witnessed humans swimming in massive body of water containing countless life forms and dangerous currents. For fun. Day 10. Humans intentionally eat plants and animals that would poison most galactic species. Day 12. Observe human children falling repeatedly while learning to ride wheel devices. They get up and continue despite injuries. With each report, Krell's fear slowly changed to something else. Amazement. One evening, Jack invited Krell to his home for dinner. Krell had never been inside a human dwelling before. You'll have to excuse the mess, Jack said, opening the door to reveal a house filled with items Krell's sensors identified as potential dangers. Sharp objects, heat-producing appliances, toxic cleaning supplies. Jack's small daughter ran up to them. Is that an alien? Why is he in a bubble suit? Lisa, be polite, Jack said. Dr. Krell needs special air and protection from our environment. The little girl looked at Krell with curious eyes. Is our planet scary for you? Krell bent down to her level. Yes, little one. Your world is very different from mine. She smiled. That's okay. My dad says different isn't bad. It's just different. Something changed in Krell at that moment. These humans didn't just survive on this Deathworld. They loved it. It was home. That night, he added to his report, the most dangerous thing about humans isn't their planet. It's that they don't know they're dangerous. They think their deadly world is normal. Ambassador Lisa Morgan stared at the empty meeting room. Today was supposed to be the final trade negotiation with the Centauri delegation. Their table was empty, their chairs untouched. They're not coming, her assistant said, handing her a message. They've canceled all meetings. Lisa read the message and sighed. They say it's too dangerous to be in the same room as humans now. This was the 5th meeting canceled this week. The Earth Embassy on the central planet was becoming a ghost town. Since the Class 15 classification, most alien species avoided humans completely. We need to do something, Lisa said, or Earth will be completely isolated. Captain Tom Reed walked into the military council chamber. Usually filled with representatives from 20 alien military forces, today only 3 seats were occupied. Where is everyone? Tom asked General Murr, his usual contact. They're afraid, Murr said quietly. The new classification has changed everything. Many believe humans should be contained, not allied with. Contained. Tom felt a chill. We've been peaceful members of the galactic community for years. That was before we knew how dangerous you are, Mur replied. Some military leaders are suggesting Earth should be quarantined. For safety. Tom's face hardened. We won't be caged on our own planet. Then prove you're not the threat everyone fears you are, Mur said. Back on Earth, the effects were spreading. Alien tourists, once common in major cities, disappeared overnight. The galactic exchange program that brought alien students to Earth was suspended. 17 human students studying on other worlds were sent home. At the United Nations, Director Paul Brown addressed the emergency session. The situation is worse than we thought, he explained to world leaders. All trade with outer planets has stopped. Our exports are sitting in space stations with no buyers. Alien technology imports have been frozen. The president stood up. What are they afraid of? We've never attacked anyone. It's not what we've done, Paul replied. It's what we could do. They'd realized we survive conditions that would kill them instantly. To them, we're like people who live comfortably inside a nuclear reactor. In an underground bar on the edge of the galaxy, a group of aliens huddled around a table. I got the tickets, said Dex, a blue-skinned thrill seeker. Earth. 1 week. No protective gear. His friends gasped. That's suicide, one said. That's the point, Dex grinned. The ultimate extreme tourism. Visit the deadliest planet. Walk among the deadliest species. He showed them the underground tour brochure. Earth. Surviviti UN survive AA. Vol. Walk on a Class 15 Deathworld. Breathe toxic air. Feel crushing gravity. Meet actual humans, not responsible for death or injury. Across the galaxy, similar groups formed. For some, Earth's deadly reputation wasn't a warning. It was an attraction. In her office, Lisa Morgan received a strange request. A major alien entertainment company wanted to create a reality show called Surviving Earth. They would drop contestants on remote Earth locations to see how long they could last. They're treating us like we're some kind of deadly zoo exhibit, she told Tom over a secure call. It gets worse, Tom replied. I just learned some military factions want to study humans as potential weapons. They think we're naturally armored super soldiers. Lisa rubbed her temples. How did we go from respected allies to feared monsters so quickly? Fear spreads faster than facts, Tom said. And right now, the whole galaxy is afraid of Earth. On her desk, Lisa's computer chimed with another canceled diplomatic meeting. Outside her window, she could see alien families hurriedly packing their belongings, eager to leave Earth orbit. The message was clear. No one felt safe around humans anymore. General Drom of the Arcturus Defense Force watched the training video with great interest. It showed human soldiers running in full gear under a hot sun. They carried heavy packs, crossed rivers, and climbed mountains. None wore protective suits. Remarkable, he said, turning to Captain Tom Reed. Your people can do this for hours. Standard training, Tom replied. Nothing special about it. Drom's 4 eyes blinked in sequence. You don't understand. My soldiers would die in these conditions. The heat alone would kill them in minutes. They sat in a private meeting room on Neutral Station, away from the watchful eyes of the Council. This meeting was not official. So, Tom asked, why did you really invite me here? Drom leaned forward. I have a proposal. The Arcturus Defense Force needs special operatives for dangerous missions. Environments no normal soldier could survive. You want human mercenaries, Tom said flatly. I prefer the term specialized contractors, Drom replied. Well-paid ones. Tom stood up. We're not weapons for hire. No, Drom asked. Then what will you be? The Council is debating quarantine measures for Earth right now. Some want to place shield satellites around your solar system. Tom froze. They can't do that. They're afraid, Drom said simply. Fear makes people do extreme things. Back on Earth, military leaders gathered in an underground facility. The room was filled with the top generals and admirals from around the world. "We have two options," said Admiral Jones, pointing at the screen. "We can try to convince the galaxy we're harmless, or we can use their fear to our advantage." "What exactly are you suggesting?" asked the Chinese general. "I'm suggesting we don't hide what we are," Jones replied. "If they think we're the most dangerous species in the galaxy, maybe we should embrace that reputation." The room erupted in argument. Half the leaders wanted to pursue peace, to prove humans weren't threats. The other half saw opportunity in being feared. On his 12th day on Earth, Krell removed his protective helmet for the first time. His hand shook as he lifted it off. The air hit his face, rich with oxygen, filled with countless tiny particles. He took a breath. It burned slightly. His skin tingled in the unfiltered sunlight. "You okay?" Jack asked, watching his alien friend carefully. Krell paused, searching for words. "It's intense, but I'm alive." Jack smiled. "Small steps. Tomorrow maybe we can try Earth food." That night, Krell recorded his most important observation yet. The true danger of humans isn't physical. Many species are strong. Many are fast. But humans have something rare. They adapt. Put them in deadly cold, they survive. Put them in scorching heat, they survive. They've evolved on a planet that tried to kill them in 1,000 ways, and it made them incredibly resilient. He added, "Most concerning is their psychological makeup. Where other species retreat from danger, humans seem drawn to it. They climb dangerous mountains because they're there. They explore deadly caves to see what's inside. This curiosity, combined with their physical adaptability, makes them uniquely equipped for survival." Captain Reed returned to Earth with General Drom's proposal. He didn't like it, but he also knew Earth needed allies. "They want to use us as soldiers for hire," he told the Security Council, "fighting in places too dangerous for other species." "And if we refuse?" asked the Secretary General. "Then we might find ourselves prisoners on our own planet," Tom answered. "Some council members want to quarantine Earth." The room fell silent. "We need to change how the galaxy sees us," said Ambassador Morgan. "We're not monsters. We're not weapons. We're just humans." "But until they understand that," Tom said quietly, "maybe we use their fear to keep Earth safe." Lisa looked troubled. "If we go down that road, we might prove they were right to fear us all along." Dr. Jack Wilson stared at his alien visitor in shock. "You've been studying us this whole time?" Krell's green skin flushed darker with shame. "Yes. The Council sent me to document why Earth deserves its Class 15 rating." They sat in Jack's lab. On the desk between them lay Krell's recorder and datapad. Jack had discovered them by accident while helping Krell with some equipment. "I thought we were friends," Jack said quietly. "We are," Krell insisted. "That's why I can't lie anymore. I came here afraid of humans, but what I've learned is amazing." Jack looked at the datapad. It showed comparison charts between human biology and other alien species. "So we're lab rats to you?" "No," Krell said. "You're survivors. Look at this data." He pressed a button, and a hologram appeared. It showed Earth's history. Ice ages, massive volcanic eruptions, meteor impacts, plagues. Any one of these events would have ended life on most worlds, Krell explained. But Earth life adapted each time. And humans. He touched another button, showing human DNA. "Your genetic code shows signs of surviving multiple near-extinction events." Jack's anger slowly changed to curiosity. "That's just evolution." "No," Krell said firmly. "It's extraordinary. The Council's classification system is wrong. It only measures danger, not potential." 3 days later, Jack and Krell presented their findings to Ambassador Lisa Morgan. "The classification system is flawed," Jack explained. "It rates planets only by how quickly they would kill unprepared visitors." Lisa looked skeptical. "And that's wrong because it misses the point," Krell said. What they call dangerous conditions are actually powerful drivers of evolution. Earth isn't just deadly. It's a crucible that created something remarkable. You. He showed her his research, how Earth's gravity made human bones and muscles dense and strong. How Earth's varied environments forced human ancestors to adapt to everything from deserts to Arctic conditions. How Earth's predators made humans develop advanced problem-solving skills and tools. Most galactic species evolved in stable, unchanging environments, Krell explained. They never had to adapt quickly. They never faced the challenges Earth presents daily. Lisa leaned forward. How does this help us? The Council still sees us as dangerous. Because, Jack said, we can prove their entire classification system is scientifically flawed. It's like judging a fish by its ability to climb trees. In her office, Lisa called Captain Reed. Tom, our xenobiologist friend, has been spying on us. I'm not surprised, Tom replied. Should we detain him? No, Lisa said. His research might actually help us. He and Dr. Wilson have found something interesting. She explained their theory about the flawed classification system. It's not just that we're tough, she concluded. It's that our planet created the perfect conditions for adaptable life. The very things that make Earth dangerous also make it an evolutionary powerhouse. Tom nodded slowly. So instead of downplaying our abilities, we show that we're not dangerous because we're monsters. Lisa finished. We're strong because our world made us that way. And that strength could benefit the whole galaxy. That night, Krell sent his final report to the Council. But instead of confirming Earth's dangerous status, he wrote, Earth should not be classified by its dangers, but by its potential. Humans have evolved remarkable adaptability. Their immune systems can be modified to fight new diseases. Their bodies can adjust to different gravities. Their minds can solve problems in hostile environments. He added, the Council has made a grave mistake. We shouldn't fear humans. We should learn from them. Their Deathworld isn't a threat to the galaxy. It's a treasure. A place that creates life capable of surviving almost anything. He sent the report, knowing it might end his career. But the truth was more important than fear. Ambassador Lisa Morgan was working late in her office when the message arrived. It was marked urgent and private. The sender was unknown. She opened it carefully. A hologram appeared. A small, nervous-looking alien with pale yellow skin. Ambassador Morgan. The hologram whispered, My name is Telk. I am a junior assistant to Counselor Vex. We must speak in person. What I have to tell you cannot be recorded. Lisa frowned. Secret messages from council members were never good news. 2 days later, Lisa met Telk in a quiet corner of the neutral zone space station. The young alien kept looking around as if expecting to be caught. Why all the secrecy? Lisa asked. Because what I'm about to tell you could get me executed, Telk replied. His hand shook as he passed her a small data drive. Earth's Class 15 classification was not based on science. Lisa stared at him. What? It was political, Telk explained. Several powerful council species fear human expansion. They pushed for the extreme classification to limit your influence. That's... Lisa struggled for words. That's illegal under council law. Telk nodded. The evidence is on that drive. But there's more. The same council members who labeled Earth too dangerous have been secretly collecting Earth materials and organisms. For what purpose? New technologies, medicines, weapons, Telk said. Earth's extreme conditions have created biological and chemical compounds that don't exist anywhere else. They're exploiting your planet while publicly shunning it. Back on Earth, Lisa called an emergency meeting with Captain Reed, Dr. Wilson, and Krell. This is worse than we thought, she said, showing them Telk's evidence. Not only did they falsify Earth's classification, but they're stealing from us. Why would Telk risk telling you this? Tom asked. He believes in council law, Lisa replied. And apparently not all council members agree with what's happening. Krell examined the data. This matches what I found scientifically. The classification makes no sense based on actual data. So what do we do? Asked Jack. Lisa looked at each of them. We gather more evidence. We build a case, and then we demand a formal hearing. They'll deny everything, Tom warned. Not if we catch them in the act, Lisa said. According to Telk, there's a secret facility on the moon Proxima I. They're testing Earth bacteria there. We need proof, Krell said. Undeniable evidence that the Council has been lying. Tom Reed led a small team to Proxima I. Using stealth technology, they approached the supposed quarantine facility. What they found was not a protective station, but a research lab filled with stolen Earth samples. Look at this, Tom said through his comm link to Lisa. His camera showed shelves of Earth plants, vials of water, even small animals. They're not containing Earth life. They're studying it, experimenting on it. They downloaded the lab's records and placed hidden cameras before leaving. The evidence was clear. While publicly declaring Earth off-limits, Council scientists were working day and night to understand what made Earth life so resilient. They want the benefits of Earth without giving humans any credit, Tom told Lisa after returning. They're studying how our plants survive radiation, how our bacteria fight disease, how our animals adapt to extreme conditions. And all while telling the galaxy we're too dangerous to associate with, Lisa said, anger in her voice. Krell compiled all the evidence into one report. The scientific data showing the classification was wrong. Telk's insider information about the political motivation. The videos and files from the secret lab. This is enough to force a hearing, he told the others. The Council cannot ignore this. Are you sure you want to be involved? Jack asked his alien friend. You could be branded a traitor. Krell stood straighter, looking more confident than they had ever seen him. On my world, we have a saying. Truth fears no light. If the Council punishes me for exposing their lies, then they are not worthy of leading the galaxy. Lisa nodded. Then it's time to call for an emergency Council session. Let's show the galaxy what's really been happening. The Great Council chamber was packed. Representatives from every galaxy world sat watching as Ambassador Lisa Morgan stood at the center. Behind her stood Captain Tom Reed, Dr. Jack Wilson, and Krell. High Counselor Jor looked down from his elevated seat. Ambassador Morgan, this emergency session is highly unusual. What evidence is so important it could not wait? Lisa stepped forward. Evidence of corruption, deception, and illegal activities by Council members. Gasps filled the room. Several Council members shifted uncomfortably. Those are serious accusations, Jor said. Do you have proof? We do. Lisa nodded to Krell, who activated a large holographic display. First came the scientific data. Krell explained how the Class 15 rating was scientifically impossible based on objective measurements. Earth is dangerous to unprepared visitors, yes, Krell said, but no more so than many Class 10 worlds. The rating was deliberately inflated. Next came Telk's testimony, his face hidden to protect him. He detailed the secret meetings where certain Council members pushed for Earth's extreme classification. They feared human expansion, his disguised voice explained. They saw how quickly humans adapted to galactic technology and culture. They were afraid humans would soon hold too much influence. Finally, Tom presented the evidence from the secret lab on Proxima II. Video showed Council scientists experimenting with Earth plants, animals, and bacteria. While publicly calling Earth too dangerous to visit, Tom said they were secretly studying what makes Earth life special. They wanted the benefits of our Deathworld without giving humans credit or fair treatment. The chamber erupted in angry shouts and accusations. Jor banged his gavel for order. Is this true? He demanded, looking at the accused Council members. Councillor Vex stood up, his face dark with anger. Of course, we studied Earth life. It's our duty to understand potential threats. Threats? Jack stepped forward. or opportunities you wanted to keep for yourselves? Lisa raised her hand for silence. We are not here just to expose wrongdoing. We are here to propose a solution. She touched a control, and a new hologram appeared. It showed a completely different classification system. The current system is flawed, she explained. It only measures immediate danger to visitors, not evolutionary potential. We propose a new multi-dimensional system. Jack continued. Instead of just calling planets Deathworlds, we should recognize the unique benefits of challenging environments. Earth isn't just harsh. It's a crucible that creates adaptable life. Krell added, my research shows that Earth organisms have solved problems that have stumped our scientists for centuries. Their immune systems, their ability to repair damage, their adaptability to different environments. These are treasures, not threats. Lisa looked around the chamber. We don't ask for special treatment. We ask for fair treatment. Judge Earth for what it truly is. Not a monster to be feared, but a unique world with much to offer. High Counselor Jor was silent for a long moment. Then he spoke to the accused council members. You will be investigated for your actions. The council does not tolerate corruption. He turned to Lisa. As for Earth's classification, I propose we review the entire system. Until then, Earth will be reclassified as a Class E evolutionary crucible, acknowledging both its challenges and its unique value. Around the chamber, many representatives nodded in agreement. 3 months later, the first official galactic science station opened on Earth. Researchers from a dozen worlds came to study, not in fear, but in wonder. Trade resumed. Cultural exchanges restarted. Humans were no longer seen as dangerous monsters, but as tough survivors with much to teach. It's strange, Lisa said to Tom as they watched alien scientists working alongside humans in the new facility. We went from being the most feared species to the most studied. Fear or respect, Tom replied. I know which I prefer. Krell, now the head of Earth Sciences for the Council, smiled at his human friends. The galaxy has learned an important lesson. Sometimes what we fear most is exactly what we need.